Hey there. If you're catching the replay, comment replay. Otherwise, I'm just jumping right into it. I have not been live in a really long time, at least not for the REIW side, outside of workshops. And I was asked and highly requested to talk about this topic of why wholesalers are making mistakes. What are the top mistakes that I see, and how can you avoid them? And the thing about wholesaling is we as women tend to just overcomplicate it. Wholesaling isn't that hard as far as the steps. It's not that hard. But us as women, we tend to overcomplicate this. And so today we're going to talk about the biggest mistakes that we tend to make, how we can avoid them, which is the most important part. And then if you're interested in figuring out more or learning more of the hows and the to-dos and all of that, then I'll talk about how you can find us on this upcoming Tuesday during our wholesaling workshop. Sound good? All right. So let's talk about the number one. If you have the PDF from earlier in the week, you're going to want to grab that now. Okay. So you're going to want to grab that now, but let's talk and dive in deeper. And I welcome any questions. So the biggest one that I see, of where our ladies struggle is they overanalyze and they don't take action. And you know if I'm talking to you because you haven't done the steps. You're just sitting there overanalyzing the numbers, thinking you need more training, read more books, take more programs, and you're really thinking about wholesaling, but you're not really doing it. And where wholesaling comes to fruition is from the doing, from the action taking. And instead of waiting for like this perfect plan, instead of waiting for the perfect timing or the perfect deal, you need to just start taking the action because it doesn't exist. The perfect deal, the perfect timing, the perfect knowledge that you're going to receive, you're always going to feel like you need more to know. Or you're going to go in and you're going to find evidence that you need to know more instead of just taking the action. So, the biggest thing that I see is that the analysis paralysis really costs our women a lot of deals. Any women in this community right now, because I'm to the public, if you're watching this, it costs you deals, it costs you time, it costs you money, and it keeps you really stuck. So here's what I recommend to avoid it. The biggest thing is you need to run your numbers. If they work, lock up the contract. That's it. Don't think your numbers need to be perfect because every buyer in wholesaling is going to decide that it's different for you. So instead, just run your numbers. If it makes sense, go for it. You don't understand your numbers? Well, find somebody that can help you. Students, you have us. That's good. Don't think more on it. Go for it. Put the offer in. You'll have your MAO, your maximum allowable offer, and then you'll have your starting point, and you know you have room to negotiate in between. So that's my number one thing. If you want to avoid it, you have to just throw it in there. You need to trust that you're going to learn more from one real deal than months of research. Ask any of my students who have done deals. Ladies, if you're on, comment. Yeah. You are going to learn more by doing than by learning and sitting there in a classroom or on a Zoom, right? You have to get out there and get the basics, and then understand you're going to learn more by actually completing deals. So, one of the things that I talk about is, we stand in this procrastination. If I have to know everything, and you just paralyze yourself in analysis. That's why it's called analysis paralysis. You just intake all this info thinking you don't know enough to go. Go, you know enough, especially if you're one of our students. I say this, I'm like, you know enough, you'll learn as you go. That's why we have the Do It Messy method. Now, just a reminder that if you want to be entered in the raffle of today, we take it by comments, meaning that every time you do a comment, you'll get an entry into the raffle. So, Amanda, so far, you might be our only winner unless people start commenting. But just start commenting, interacting. I also want to know if this is you. Let's move into step 2, avoiding seller conversations out of fear. You knew this was coming because I was telling the students the other day, 99% of where I see people pause is getting on the damn phone and talking to sellers. Why is this a problem? You're terrified of saying something stupid. You're not really sure what to say. You're waiting to feel ready. But I'm telling you right now, confidence is coming from repetition, not waiting. Every day you don't make a call is someone else is locking up a deal you could have had. Someone else is taking that opportunity that you could have had. Like, where make it make sense, right? Like, if you want to do deals, you have to get on the phone. If you want to get good at being on the phone, you have to get on the phone and practice. You have to talk to people. I can tell you to talk back and forth with someone and role play as much as you want, but it's not going to go the way of calls going to go on the phone. So if you want to get good at being on the phone, you have to be willing to talk and get on the phone. because every day you don't make a call, you're giving that deal away to someone else. You're giving that opportunity to someone else that could have been yours. So, how do you avoid it? Pick up the phone, stop overthinking it. That's really it. You don't know the answer? That's okay. Say, I don't know the answer to that, but I'll ask my business partner who does, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. That's it. You don't have to know it all. You won't know it all. And at least knowing that, you'll go in not being like, I should have known that answer. You won't know it all. I tell people all the time, you can talk to sellers and I can train you 1,000 different ways. You're going to get on the phone and the 1,001 is going to happen. Be okay with that. Be okay with sounding new. Be okay with fumbling, right? Don't overthink. Yeah, exactly. Don't give the deal to someone else. You are capable and you have the resources if you don't know how to solve it, especially my students who are students of ours. Now, number 3 is you're chasing too many leads instead of qualifying sellers. Here's the thing, this is why it's an issue. Not every lead is motivated. Some are just curious, some are going to waste your time. They are. You're spending hours on sellers who will never even sign a contract instead of focusing on right leads. The other issue I see there alongside this is you stay stuck on one deal and you don't talk to other deals. You don't talk to other leads. And then when that one deal possibly falls through, your whole world feels like it crashed. When you could have had 15 different deals in the works, or 5 different deals in the works, or 3, or even just 2, by focusing on just qualifying sellers, making sure they are serious, and then working with them while also going on and talking to other sellers at the same time. So here are some questions you can ask to find out and avoid this. Ask the right questions. So one is, why are you selling? How soon do you want to close? Are you open to a cash offer, or are you just testing the market? If they're not serious, move on, follow up later. Keep them in your follow up system. But you don't want to just stay there, just focused on that. Okay. So that's something that's really, really important that I wanted to state, because I see it happen all the time, and you're bending over backwards for a seller that may not even sign with you. Now, obviously, you need to nurture them and you need to talk to them, and a lot of your deals are going to come up from your follow up. That is different than a seller that's just wasting your time, that's dragging this process on, and you're only focused on this process. That is the number 3, the third mistake I see most happening with the people I work with. Number 4 is not having a strong enough buyers list. We don't put enough effort in that. Here's why it's a problem. You get a property under contract and you panic because you don't know who's going to buy it, because you never took the time to really understand buyers. Students, you notice how buyers come before sellers in our program, even if it's just to understand them better so that you have the right deal to present to buyers. So you'll scramble last minute, you'll waste the time, and sometimes you'll even lose the deal because you didn't take the time to really understand what your buyers want, what they're buying, having conversations with them. You see where I'm going with this? The buyers that end up on your list in the beginning most likely aren't going to buy unless you highly develop this really good relationship and they're really serious and things like that. But you can go in with the confidence of knowing that you have deals under contract that people will buy, right? Because you see they're already buying stuff like that. And it's a lot easier to do that. So, how do you avoid it? You build relationships now before you even have deals under contract, or even as you have deals under contract, you keep your relationships burning with them. All right. You connect with cash buyers through investment groups, real estate agents who work with investors, RIAs. There's a million ways. I'll talk more about it on Tuesday if you're interested and you come to the workshop. But there's a million ways of finding buyers. Okay. So finding cash buyers and understanding what they're buying so that you're not being the wholesaler that has to walk away from every deal. Right? Because you're getting them priced too high. People aren't buying. You're not understanding what your buyers want, what people are paying in the market right now. It doesn't matter what the seller thinks if buyers aren't going to buy. Yes, Pamela, that is in the training. So it's under qualifying buyers and then marketing to buyers. So you go in there and you really have that conversation with them, and you do that, and then you move forward. And so the biggest thing is, though, and I want you to remember what I had just said. I dropped it very fast, but honestly, You need to, let's bring it back. It doesn't matter what the seller wants if the buyers aren't going to pay for it. This helps you in negotiation. It doesn't matter what the seller wants. So when you're talking to the seller and you're like, but look, this is what people are paying in this area, it gives you a negotiation tactic. Understanding your buyers before you talk to sellers. Making sense? Number 5, biggest mistake I see, they give up too soon. You guys give up too soon. Why is it a problem? Most people quit right before they would have seen success. I did a post with my students. I said, if you known that you were going to have a win after 30 failed attempts, how quick would you get through the 30 failed attempts to get to that win? Quick as shit, right? Somewhere like 48 hours. I would do it all. Don't give up. The one thing I think, like anytime I'm doing anything in life, even personally, if I give up, what if it was the next try? You think one or two no's or one or two failed contracts means wholesaling doesn't work? It's not possible. The gurus are wrong. The mentors are wrong. They don't know. They must not be investing now because this didn't work for me. Do you know how many times I hear that? And I'm like, but I'm investing. like, it's so frustrating. Success is a numbers game. The ones who keep going are the ones who are going to win. How many times have you said it must not work? They're teaching the wrong thing. And in some cases, they are. Beware, they are. There are some gurus out there, I will not name names, who are teaching the wrong things. But I feel like in your gut, you know when they're bullshit. You know it, but you don't want to listen because you have so much hope that they're teaching the thing that works for you, right? So so commit to the long game. Deals don't happen unless you show up consistently, unless you realize real estate is a numbers game. And you're not going to get a yes most likely on your first call. Some of you do. I had a student do it the other day. That's fine. But for the most part, you don't. And I don't want you to. And in fact, I say my students who have it easy in the beginning, it stresses me out because then they think it's always easy, which is a good manifestation tack. But then later they fall. Expect rejection. It's part of the business. People say no. They're not rejecting you. Us as women, we take rejection, and I know personally too, so personal. We take it as they're saying no to us, that we're not good enough, that we don't know enough, that we suck at this, that we're not meant to have this. The men are just better at this. Who the fuck? No. And I'm sorry, I know I'm cussing a lot, but it's because I'm really passionate about this because why? Women are natural at nurturing. We're natural at helping and problem solving and trusting our instincts. Why do we let that go away the second we want to do something for ourselves? Tell me, make that make sense, right? So expect rejection and be okay with it. It's okay to be rejected. I know that seems like a bad idea, but no. And in fact, I always say, how many no's can I get? What are the most amount of no's that I can get in a given day? And then let me top that the next day until my yes. And then once my yes starts, I have to start all over again. And you almost like go in with the expectation that it will work out, but you're not going to fall apart because someone say no, right? So why give up? I want to know that what are you telling yourself into the chat that makes you give up? And let me pull up because I can't see Instagram and stuff. Okay, just in case my team needs to send me any feedback on there. I just want to know why we give up. Why do we think this isn't meant for us? Because I'm going to tell you right now, that's the number one thing I see. We give up. It's too hard. And then we sit there wishing we had money when the answer is right there. Make it make sense. And I don't want you to look at yourself with shame when I talk to you about this. I want you to look at this as inspiration that you're not the only one who thinks this way, but how the heck can I get over this? You're becoming aware. Not getting a yes is normal. But how can you get more yeses? By calling. You're not going to get more yeses by getting discouraged. You're not going to get more yeses by quitting. You're not going to get more yeses by putting the blame on everyone else. Right? And you're not going to get more yeses by saying, oh, this must not work. They're teaching me the wrong stuff. Because I can tell you right now, every once in a while, I will go listen to a podcast to see if anything shift that I didn't know about. Like as I'm looking for buyers or as I'm doing my own deals, I'll listen to other wholesalers. I just want to see if anything has shifted or maybe something cool has come in that I haven't come across. It's the same. It's been the same. But why is hearing the no upsetting? Why don't it just be okay? It's just an answer. It's just a word. Move on. There will be a yes. We expect to see results quicker, need to keep going. Exactly. See, here's where a lot of gurus lie. They use real estate as this get rich quick scheme, and it's not. You can become wealthy pretty fast. But if you treat it and you're going into it as a way to get rich quick and not as a business, your expectations are already there. And then when it doesn't happen, you feel you failed. And that's not just your own fault. That's a lot of the people that present because they want you to sign up because they think it will happen. Now, do I have students that do deals in 30 days? Yes, I do. But they're not going in with the expectation that it's going to be that easy, right? But do they have it happen? Yes, they do. I have my gung ho ladies. I have ladies who are already doing deals, joining that are wanting to up level. And so they start seeing it. And then I have the ladies who have to get their mindset right, who are falling victim to their fears, who are not being consistent. That's why I have weekly mindset calls, right? With my students, because it's all levels and that's okay. And I want you to have the expectation you can see results fast, but you will not be financially free in 30 days. It's going to take a few deals. It's going to take consistency. It's going to take growth. It's going to take becoming the person who closes deals by doing, right? I will get them by consistency all the time. You're not going to get them by hanging up and never making a phone call again. Either way, no matter if you go through agents, no matter if you go through the MLS, through agents, if you go through for sale by owners, you have to talk to sellers. You have to talk to owners. You have to talk to people that are selling their property, even if it's an inbound lead, right? So these are the biggest mistakes that I see. And it's really disheartening because we give in to what we tell ourselves. And I did a whole call on this on Tuesday. Like Wendy said, my mindset calls are good. I did a whole call on this because we give in to what we tell ourselves and we quit before we even get started. And that really sucks. That really sucks to see. So, if you want to really make wholesaling work for you and you don't want to figure it all out the hard way, and you want to know step by step how this works, then on March 4th, which is this upcoming Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, we're doing a wholesaling workshop. I'm going to talk about how to find sellers without wasting time. I'm going to tell you how to lock up deals consistently. I'm going to tell you how to build your buyers list, and I'm going to give you the step by step from start to the close. But here's the thing, you have to do it. You have to take the action. You have to show up. You have to remember. You have to do it every single day, and you cannot give in to what you're telling yourself. And I know it's easier said than done. I know that. But when you're aware, you can fix it. So in the description and in the comments, my team is going to put the link for the workshop if you want to attend. Now, I'm not done yet. Okay. I'm not done yet, but I wanted to throw that out there now. One, before I forgot. Two, because I think it's really important that you're taught enough to get going and then you figure it out. So the call today is perfect for me because I had lost a deal yesterday and just got it. And okay, can you salvage it? If not, let's get on the phone again today. I'm going to give you an example of real life. Hunter's when he went to championships for soccer, It's a real life that people can do. They lost and he was upset. He cried. He's 12. But then he came home, he set up his goalie net, and he started kicking the ball into the net over and over for the next 2 hours. He just kept playing. Why can't we do the same? You losing a deal does not mean that you're a failure in real estate. It doesn't. Need more training on buyers? Yeah. How to talk to them since they may not want newbies in wholesaling. Why not? That's something you're telling yourself. A new investor is more likely to do everything in their power to get your deal to close than somebody who's like, I got 5 more in the works. That is something you're telling yourself. They don't want to work with me because I'm new. Why not? How are you going to get advanced? You have to be new to start. I didn't come out of the womb doing real estate. I say this all the time. You have to be willing to be new. Don't let rejection be the stop sign that keeps you from moving forward. That's something that you guys really got to understand. All right. So, review. Let's go to the top. Just pulling up my bullet points. Overanalyzing. Stop doing it. Take action. Just do it. Just do it. Avoid seller conversations. Don't do that. Don't do it out of fear. Get on the phone. You want deals? You have to be on the phone. Chasing too many leads instead of qualifying sellers. You're not asking the sellers the right questions. You're not making sure they're ready to sell. You're getting stuck on the one deal and not getting other deals in the pipeline. And they're wasting your time. And then that time has passed when you could have had other deals happening. Not having a strong buyers list before locking up deals and giving up too soon. So if you want to attend, I have that going on coming up here. Hey, Leah, coming up here in a bit on Tuesday of how it's going. Now, here's the thing. This is a little bit of a shift. This is a newer way of presenting this workshop. So if you've been on before, you may want to come again. But otherwise, we're going to be talking about what's going on in 2025. What do we see shifting? What's going on with like current stuff and all of that. And now I want a team. You could go ahead and pull raffle. If you have questions, now's the time to ask. And yeah, I hope that today was really, really helpful for you. If anything, just good reminders. These are the most common mistakes I see. Even people who have done deals still get discouraged. We had a student once that was doing like 30 fix and flips and then wanted to get into wholesaling and said, but I don't know if I could do that. And we're like, but you have like 30 fix and flips going at any given time. What do you mean you don't know if that's possible for you to do? Like he didn't think it was possible for him. Isn't that wild? So even the best of us, we're like, I don't know if I have what it takes. We all do it. It's just good to have somebody that calls you out on it. Okay, so our raffle is, now that my team got it, is this like little goodie bag, but because it's small on my computer, I'm going to look over here. And what it is it's a You Are Awesome gift basket. So it comes with, I can't even see what all it comes with. It comes like little socks, a little pouch, it looks like a mirror compact. I like the candle says my last nerve. Oh, look, it's on fire. And then a little mug. That's great. Okay, so good. There, that's me transitioning from rentals to wholesale. I know, we talked yesterday. I was like, what? No, what are you talking about? Or Tuesday. It's like, you're fine. You're just building on top. You're not starting over. Exactly. I like that. Yes, Teresa, you should be proud that you took the steps. That means that you're one step closer to your deal. And I'll tell you this, a lot of my students, the first deal doesn't always come to fruition. Probably 50-50 sometimes, right? Because of one reason or another. That doesn't mean it was a waste. You learned a lot, right? All right. So our winner, you have to email in. You have 1 week to claim. You have to email in 1 week to questions@realestateinvestingwomen.com. Our winner is Pamela Belote. So congratulations. Probably messed up your name, but Pamela, you are our winner. Congrats. So you just email in and we'll get that out to you. But I hope that it was helpful. I don't think I see any questions coming in. Hold on. Let me see. Still getting discouraged all the time. All the time. Even like just the other day, I was like, oh my gosh, like, really? maybe I need to do something else. This is getting tiring. You get those moments. You get those moments all the time, right? Or a team member has to leave, or I had lost my head cold caller because she's pregnant and she's on maternity leave. And I'm just like, and I have two, and even on my RAW side on maternity leave. And I was just like, oh my goodness, right? Like, but good for them. But I was like, you know what I mean? So it's tiring. But at the end of the day, I do this over anything else. Let's see. You learn so much from your mistakes. You do. All right. Well, I don't see any questions coming in, so I'm going to jump off. But I hope that today was helpful. I hope if you came on later, go check the beginning all the time. And, or I'm reading Wendy's saying it. Go check the beginning as you have time and enjoy it. Enjoy real estate. Enjoy the process. You have to really love the journey, not just the end result. The end result will come, but it won't come without the journey. You have to have the journey to get to the end result. You have to do the steps. You have to take it one step at a time, right? And as long as you know that and you make it fun and you just keep going for it, before you know it, you are going to be at the goal that you had. And what's funny is you're not even going to realize you're at the goal. You'll look back and be like, holy crap, I'm doing it. There was a time when 30K seemed so far fetched to make on a monthly basis. And you'll rack up your statement and you'll see that you're making 40K a month. You won't even realize it as it happens most of the time. But you got to love the journey. You got to be a part of it. You got to throw yourself in and you got to do it. And you have to keep the end results in mind. Your why is the biggest thing you will have. It's the biggest purpose of what you're going to have. Figure out your why, make it to where your excuses can't trump that. It can't like overrun it and keep you from going forward. All right, ladies, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Students, don't forget we have our special guest speaker today.